Bro, I am wildin'.
Bruh.
Alright. So first off, hello my friends, frenemies, and I'm once again on learning more about myself and today I have a brand new video for you guys. So we're gonna be going over the Stream Valve deck or Steam Valve deck, whatever. This thing will be coming out in December. It is amazing, and this is exactly what I've been waiting for. I've always been looking for a PC handheld device that's similar to the Switch, but none of them have been as powerful, and they mainly use motherboards and regular CPUs that are having integrated graphics, but isn't the intention of the actual device to have integrated graphics. But anyway, this is full built in. They have a partnership with AMD, and they made a AMD APU quad Zen 2. Whatever, all that stuff is amazing. All you gotta know is that means this is possibly the strongest handheld device ever, and it's only $100 more than the Switch, with the same amount of storage as the Switch. So I think this is crazy. I think the price range, I know they had a video talking about it and said it was kind of upsetting to them. I guess they wanted it to be lower, but this is completely fine and understandable, and things like that. So it was rumored before. I did see some rumors and things like that about this device. Yeah, the device is coming out. It looks really cool. I can't wait to use it. I like the interface. And here's what I want to know, right? When are we gonna make me characters on here? Because now it's like, you got the portable device and all that, but if you really want to take a jab at Nintendo, go ahead, add some me characters in there. Why not? But they have a couple of different prices. You have $400 for the default 64 gigs of storage. For $530, you get like 200. It says it somewhere here. Yeah, you get 256 gigs, and this is faster storage speed, so the game loads up like that, like PlayStation 5, like people with M.2s. And things like that. So you get really fast load times as well as boot times when you boot up the device. And then for the final one, which if they went for a terabyte, that would have been a little bit crazy. I'm fine with this. But for the final one, which is 650, you get 512 gigabytes of high speed storage. So it is faster than the other two. It's high speed. I don't know. Maybe when the device comes out, we'll get to see a comparison between all of them booting up or all of them launching a game. But I have to go with the high speed. I know in reality, I could just say bump it, go with the 64 and put in an SD card that has more, just like my Switch. I'm taking this one out my Switch and putting it in here, if anything.
I don't want to play with you anymore.
But yeah, so I really was looking forward to a device that would do this for PC gamers, because we have a humongous library on Steam of games and countless games getting added, and multiple games with controller support and things like that, and we don't really get to enjoy and play them. But with this, we'll be able to do it, and it's best that this is the strongest gaming handheld, and it makes so much sense for it to be, because PC gamers, we like our specs. There's also a couple of things here, as you can see, about the controller, the thumbstick. It has view, it has a Steam button, which I'm guessing takes you to the main menu. I'm wondering if it works the same like the Nintendo Switch or any other console, when you press the, PlayStation button on your controller and the game is still running and you can just browse. I'm guessing it works the same way like that, so you can multitask. But I really wonder, what happens if you try to run a game that it literally can't run, that makes it chug? I know sometimes in older PCs, when you do something like that, if you try to go into a menu, it's gonna lag. But I don't think that would be a case of this. I think they might have it run as priority on the operating system to allow the Steam interface not to lag when, in the game. And I think they set that for priority on everything, even like PlayStation stuff, because you always want to be able to go to the main menu and it to still be smooth and things like that, and multitask. So I think that's probably set as priority in the game. Runs like super low settings or something whenever you go into the Steam thing, and then when you boot it up, it boots right back super fast and all that fun stuff. That's just a guess on how that works. I don't really know personally. And they have a quick access button. Not quite sure what that does. But you know, why I guess it might be to see when you get notifications on Steam when someone messages you or invites you to a party or something, and you can quick access and go to them and reply or talk to them or whatever. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, you got the options button and view button, which I'm guessing is just start and pause, which is weird how they changed the name. It does have a microphone, so you can easily get into these calls and things like that. You know, you got your A, B, X, Y buttons and things like that. Really cool. Next, we have the top of the controller. You know, you got your bumpers and all that stuff. Top of the console, I should say. This thing's mad powerful. You got your volume up and down, headphone jack. We
got a headphone jack, guys. 2021, my guys. Headphone jack.
It's amazing. All right. Thank you. Thank you for the headphone jack. We got a fan, the same location of where the Switch is. I don't know nothing about the fan control on this thing. I don't know if this thing gets as hot as a Switch. Personally, at this point, I don't care. This is the strongest device you will ever hold in your hand. Just like literally in the palm of your hand. This is the strongest device. I also don't know how heavy it is and things like that. But, you know, as more videos come out, we'll know about that. And I don't know when this video will go up and things like that. But we'll see as far as, you know, other things. And I'll probably make future videos on this as well and stuff like that. We got a status thing for, I guess, when it's charging. And we got a power button, you know? So everything on the top is really convenient and, you know, kind of similar format from if you are switching to a Nintendo Switch as your handheld gaming and you switch into this for your handheld gaming. But I will say right away, guys, for anyone who's seen the GPD Wind or seen those other gaming handheld devices, all of those are out of the water. All those companies, I'm sorry, but I don't think you're going to be able to manage too much. Now, this thing, from what I heard, also can boot up Linux. It doesn't have Windows, which makes sense, because if it did have Windows, it would be an extra $300, because that's how much Windows is, or they would have to cut the price even more. So, it does have Linux, so I'm pretty sure people are going to be trying to get emulators, or maybe even try to install Windows on it, because it is Linux after all. So, you could really do anything, and Linux is free, hence why they use it. And I personally am fine trying to mess around with Linux. I wonder how well I can get like emulators and stuff going and try to play some games like that, because trying to play some, I know Kingdom Hearts 2 is only on the Epic Games Store for right now. Eventually it might end up going on Steam, but might try to get some Kingdom Hearts if I can switch it to Windows or something and actually manage to get you know, Kingdom Hearts so I can play Epic games and things like that and so on and so forth. I know a lot of people are going to be troubleshooting with this that are smarter than me. Those videos are going to be out from them, not from me. Honestly, I think it's since it has Linux on it, if I am not mistaken, when you dock it, I honestly think it's just going to be a easy state of, okay, let me just boot up, you know, the Windows launcher firmware or whatever and stuff like that. But yeah. It's also got your micro SD slot. Thank you for this. If you didn't give this, this would have been a problem. But so far, they have gave everything you need for this device. This is showing the dock for it, I believe. Also, wait, yeah, the charger port is also on the top too. So it doesn't get in the way in the bottom. Depending on how big the device is, like if you do it with your phone, sometimes the charger port on the bottom is kind of bad because you cut your hand through it, and having it on top makes it a little bit more easier. I know the Switch has it on the bottom, or yeah, the Switch has it on the bottom for the dock. This one's dock might be wireless. I'm not too sure, but it definitely looks interesting. And yeah, the sleep mode. Now it says here, as for the battery of the Steam Deck on board is 400-watt battery, several hours of playing games, which is great. Smaller 2D games or web browsing, you can expect a maximum battery life of 7 to 8 hours. So here's the thing about this device. You know, the Switch, it's a Switch. You switch from, you know, TV, handheld, and and tabletop. Yeah, that's what they call it, tabletop. This device is technically a Valve Switch. You can switch from handheld to PC to gaming PC. In the sense, I know PC and gaming PC are the same thing, but like to get 7 or 8 hours, that's better than my laptop unplugged. And this thing has a CPU that's running these games at some really good quality, and it's the best quality you can get out of a portable device as far as, handheld device. A laptop, of course, if you get a 300 series laptop, then yeah, that's gonna run better than that. But anyway, yeah, I think that's really cool that they have that. It also says for Portal 2 for 4 hours and playing games. If you limit it to 30 FPS, you can be at 5 to 6 hours. This is another thing about it being PC that makes it so great. If you want the battery life to last longer, you make the game lower frame rate, lower resolution, any of that, and you can have the thing last longer for you. This is great to have. I love that they are putting this in here. And yeah, 5 to 6 hours now for 30 FPS and having about like 4 hours for the game at 60. Now Portal 2 isn't a heavy game by any means. That's probably like the average game to expect running on the Switch. So I'm guessing we are going to get around 3 to 2 hours for playing a game like Cyberpunk or something like that, which is not bad. I mean, playing Cyberpunk on the go, you're asking for a lot. Our technology has been, going crazy, and although it's been going crazy, we aren't going to be expecting no Cyberpunk lasting for 5 or 6 hours on whatever size of a battery this is. I don't know if it's 600 milliamps or whatever. But yeah, stuff like that. And if you pause the game, the Steam Deck offers a quick suspension slash resume built in the OS that will let the device sleep and pick up where you left off later. That is beautiful. This OS that they made for this is just beautiful. I love that they put effort in, because at the end of the day, I would have still gotten this without like an actual really, really good OS, because I'm used to it. I'm used to not always being able to manage with my OS and it to be kind of like, lame and boring. But this has a really good OS, and I like that. And so, because of that, I think that it would be fun and great to actually mess around and use this to its full potential and stuff like that. So yeah. So Valve will also sell a dock. So the dock will be separate. This is completely fine. I'm guessing the dock will be $50 to $100 because the Switch has a dock, and the Switch alone would technically be $200 because it comes with the dock. At least I think that's what people said. It was around $200 regularly, and the dock was around 100 or something. But I don't know for sure. Maybe it was 50. Maybe this dock will be 50. They don't know yet. But yeah, Valve would sell a dock that'll pop up Steam Deck. You plug into external display like TV. You already know. Basically like the Switch dock. You got HDMI. You got all this other stuff. And you'll have native Bluetooth audio, which is great. We have Bluetooth. We have everything we wanted for the Switch to have. And it's great. I think Nintendo is definitely, definitely seeing that, okay, maybe we have to up the specs. But Nintendo, I don't think they're scared. You know why? Because they got their exclusives and they love their exclusives. And it's not really about the console being powerful. It's always more about the games. Nintendo's got some games now, but Steam's got some games. It's got more games than any other platform. Just PC in general has more games than any other platform. But yeah, this thing's got a lot of games in it, and it's gonna run them great, way better than the Switch. And I can't wait to see graphics comparisons, especially when this thing is docked. Like going to your friend's house with this would be so cool. And just all that other stuff. But it does seem like the dock does have a cable that you do plug up onto the top and stuff like that. But yeah, this also comes with a carrying case. I forgot to mention. That's really cool. You know, you got touchpad keyboard. You can also plug in a keyboard if you wish or desire. But yeah, this carrying case is really cool to have. You had to buy a carrying case for the Switch and things like that. So like, honestly, I'd rather get a carrying case and buy the dock separate than to have to get the dock and use the carrying case. Because the simple thing is, not a lot of people might want the dock. You don't even need it. Honestly, you can buy something else that can be used as a dock. It just has an official dock that you could use. So, because of that, you know, there are other ways to go by and, you know, do it. As you can see, you can search for games. They really would like to show the games they own, like Portal 2. You know, Portal's fun though. I ain't even gonna lie. Portal's fun. I think this is Guilty Gear. I don't know. I honestly, I think it is. But yeah, you know, see two people playing it. Now that's what makes it look like a Switch. When you see people playing two different like pixelated games, Stardew Valley. I love that game, by the way, especially with mods. Mods. Can we get mods on here? Can we open the file location? When we go into the Linux format, can we open the file locations? I want to know. I also want to know, how is it that they have Linux on here, but we're running Windows type games that don't run on Linux? They might be using Wine to run these, which for how powerful the processor is, that's fine. But Wine doesn't do too well on certain games, so it does leave questioning on how they're doing it. But all of that will be figured out. But yeah, like it is Linux desktop. Here it says it again. Steam Deck is full-fledged Linux computer, meaning that technical user will be able to jump to regular Linux desktop too. So I'm interested on that because it is running Linux. It might have a certain way that it does it, but yeah, this is crazy. Another thing, I want to see colors and skins on this. This thing looks bland. I love it. I love it a lot. I don't really care too much, but the color on it, like looking at this, I literally see the Switch for a split second, and I'm like, where's the red and blue? Like, where's the red and blue? You know what I mean? So, yeah. Definitely want to see something like that. And they said that's actual footage. There's footage of this game running games, and the games look amazing in a solid FPS and everything. I don't know what game that is, but that looks fun. But yeah, I love the interface. You see the time, your picture, and things like that. It's great. It's got 4 buttons on the back. I don't know who's gonna map that to what, but yeah, we're gonna play this. Let's see what else they show.
The layout felt completely natural.
Look at this.
Full-size thumbsticks felt precise, and while the D-pad wasn't quite as clicky as I'd like, it was fully serviceable for rounding out some quarter circles in Guilty Gear Strive. Similarly, the face buttons and bumpers all felt solid and served me well through a few runs of.
Now, I don't know if y'all see this, but the screen, it is a box in a box. It's not like the new Switch. Like it's missing some size. I don't know if it's because of the game set or resolution, but it's not the whole screen. At least from this, I don't think it normally is. I'm fine because I have a Switch and I know the Switch OLED's coming out. But yeah, I think this whole box is the whole screen. And because of that, that does really suck. Because the Switch OLED came out and then this just now came out. So there will probably be new variants of this. This thing's going to get sold out quick. I'm trying to hopefully, please get one. You know what I mean? I'm really trying to get one. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get one and hopefully be able to get it. And then probably a year or two from now, they'll release their OLED model or whatever. I don't know if the screen's already OLED.
Triggers did feel a little bit squishy for my
taste, yeah.
But it's worth noting that I was using a non-final hardware unit, so it's possible that things might improve there as Valve tweaks the deck before launch. On the backside,
yeah. So about the triggers being squishy, I mean, I take everything to consideration when I'm playing on my Switch or anything like that. I just say, look, if I can press the button and it works and it's not stuck or anything, I'm kind of fine. Yes, I do want a good controller if I'm using a device that's only a controller. But when I'm using a device that's a full-fledged PC, bruh, like the controller is an add-on. It's not like the essential factor. And you can plug in, you know, a controller, and it has Bluetooth, man. Wireless controller. wireless. Now I do wonder if this thing can stand up on its own, because then that would also have tabletop mode. That would be pretty nice. Or, you know, put a book behind it. It does have that type of dock thing. I don't know if that comes with it or not, but the dock is separate to buy, so I don't know if people use the dock for tabletop or tabletop or whatever.
Inputs can be fully customized to whatever you like thanks to Steam Input, Valve's commitment to making useful custom key bindings available for almost any controller layout. Underneath the thumbsticks are one of the deck's standout features, 2 precision trackpads, which give you access to mouse controls for games that don't play well with a controller.
The trackpads here are an evolution of the same technology that we've been working on since the Steam controller days and experimenting with internally. You also have seen some of our trackpad work as part of the Index controller, for example. They can be used for many different things. We have a keyboard that lets you do dual thumb typing. In-game, you can map them to areas of the screen for the mouse cursor to jump there and be kind of a one-to-one region type input. You can create on-screen menus that pop up on top of the game and have many customizable like macro buttons.
Are they gonna add themes? Like, the Switch doesn't have any themes, but they're gonna add themes to this. I would like to see themes. I know Steam has like profile themes and things like that, but I would like to see themes actually on this whole interface.
Or keyboard keys, and you can just use it for mouse input, where it's really powerful and reliable for the people.
The mouse input's powerful?
Can he be Goku though?
Input.
Both the thumbsticks and the trackpads are also capacitive, which means they can tell when your finger is on them. Combined with the internal gyro sensor, it gives you a weirdly precise level of control that, after a brief adjustment
It has gyro?
period, is honestly not far off from using
Dude, this thing is insane!
a regular mouse. Yes, even in first-person shooters like Doom Eternal. Finally, the 7-inch screen is touch-enabled as well, giving you yet another option for controlling your game.
So, here's the thing, right? So, you're telling me, right, because of that touchpad, could you theoretically... It's hard to say because you can't, like, move and walk, but, like, if you can use the right touch... If both of the touchpads work the same, you can use the right analog to move, the left to move the stick like if it's a mouse, and you can be technically PC gaming that way. You know what I mean? Like, if this was mapped to WASD for non-controller support games, and you got your mouse and the bumpers is right click and left click or whatever, like, you're playing a shooter. The only thing you're missing is, you know, your WASD, and yeah, it's a trackpad, so it's not as good as a mouse, but even still, that is crazy.
The Steam Deck will draw immediate comparisons to the Nintendo Switch, but while it might
Yeah.
look like a handheld console, Valve's device has much more in common with a desktop gaming PC. The Steam Deck runs a custom version of Steam OS that gives you a console-like experience on the
I
surface,
love it.
but under the hood is a full-blown PC.
It's a PC. We don't think people should be locked into a certain direction or a certain set of
They
software
shouldn't.
They can install. If you buy a
They
Steam
shouldn't
Deck,
be
it's a
locked.
PC. You can install whatever you want on it. You can attach any peripherals you want to it. Maybe a better way to think about it is that it's a small PC with a controller attached as opposed to a gaming console.
I think it differs from these kind of platforms mainly because you can just customize the experience and use all the options.
Alright guys, I'm not going to steal from IGN. If you want to watch this video, it will be linked down below. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. I had to put it in another tab so I can have it. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. See you on the flip side.